Hello viewers, this is Desert Darkness 97, presenting you Fire Emblem 6 Project Ember 0% growths. And we're doing chapter 8, so instead of bringing in a lot of units already, don't typically expect to bring in a 0% growth run, but well, it's gonna work. Just think of it in that way. So this Debias, Ogier, and Lilino. So that soldier on there, which Debias is attacking as hostless, so you definitely want to deal with it if you want to advance a bit further. And here I miscalculated a bit, and we won't be able to reach that soldier on there. But that shouldn't be an issue since we're going to rescue drop him. And we just got there with as many enemies as possible towards our other units. So Clarine, yeah, just gonna move him around. As you can see, as usual, Lilina's present there, but she has a fire tome with her, and instead of turn 5, these guys appear in turn 1. The enemies around there are a lot harder to face, but in return, you get to control them a lot sooner, and all these units are fairly good. So we're definitely going to promote Bard because there's no point in delaying promotions in 0% growth run. He's going to be one of our bulky units besides Debias. He's pretty darn slow though, but he's going to pull in his weight for a significant portion of the game where to deploy him. And Ogi is going to replace Deke, but we need to get a hero crest before we do that. And there's a soldier around there, just don't worry about that part. Gotta deal with him. And there's Luke and state damage, but yeah, that's kind of sad. That's a bit risky for being honest. Probably we don't want to do it in a 0% growth run. It's not as reliable as it can be, but luckily the archer messes around there, and the mage goes with Zelor instead of Debia, so it's kind of nice. And definitely want the archer attack first instead of Lilina, so that you can deal with. You can kill archer in the next play phase, otherwise Lilina's gonna pretty much die there, especially since she doesn't have a vulnerary. Okay, so just attack from here and there you go. Ogi is not very bulky, but he's a lot faster than Deke would ever be in most cases. That is unless his weapon weighs him down. And most weapons do not weigh him down. And even then, it's going to be faster than Deke in most cases. I think in wield most of the swords without any weight penalty. And axes can't wield heavier ones like steel and silver without some ace penalty. The steel one is probably the biggest culprit in that, but I don't think he has to use steel axes, and even then he's gonna have +1 speed over Deeks, so it's very up to you, honestly. In vanilla version, I guess it's obviously better because of his higher speed cap compared to other heroes, but here it's definitely gonna have one of my highest speed bases, which I'm gonna take advantage of. So that guy's not pulling as much work as I'd expect, but yeah, he's still putting a decent amount of work in that S-rank swords, so he's kind of set for the end game, honestly. Just need to heal up Zealot before he advances around there, but he won't be hard to deal with if you ask me. I mean, the enemies around there, just basically gonna rush towards them, and we need to divert all these enemies towards a particular enemy. The reason not putting Zealot around there is I don't think he can handle more than 3 or 4 hits, while I'm pretty sure WS can handle a lot more punishment on the physical side at the very least. So fine in that regard. So gonna just ship him off just so we don't need a counter attack from him. And fortunately none of his knights have hostlers, so that works in our favor for the most part. We can advance a bit more. The hostlers are all in this part instead of the beginning in the vanilla version, but sadly I don't have anything beyond silver lances. They definitely hit hard, don't get me wrong, but just checking how we can attack. I guess Marcus is a good idea. Silver lance, just so you do not take damage. As you can see, Marcus is kind of falling off. His speed's damage output is falling off very drastically. He's gonna put a fair amount of work, if you ask me, just because there's 8 move, and not even Zealot is 8 move right now. Probably have flyers and Mage Knight Luke has 8 move, but low level stuff to do like ship heal and so on, so it doesn't really matter that much. He's always going to Debias into Zealot, which is kind of nice since I can move Zealot a lot farther than I intended to move him. So only 1 soldier is left, and he won't be particularly hard to deal with. Speaking of chapter LTCs and Project Ember changes, I kind of like how they put in the door there, the entrance. That makes this map a lot shorter, and kind of like how this segment is fairly hard once you get the hang of it. So promoting Bar does make this a lot easier, and honestly I really recommend promoting him. Just there's no point in delaying his promotion, especially since we'll promote him anyway in the next chapter. Tried it out. So this map's basically a lot shorter than it usually is in an FE6 run, just because Project Ember development team made a small change in the map by putting a door on there. 2 fighters are blocking it, but that's nothing you haven't dealt with before, so it will be fine, honestly. As usual, prefer doing chip damage before rushing, just so you save healing and stuff. Not EXP for staff users is necessary beyond level 10, but it still saves me staff uses and I'm particularly short on funds, so that kinda helps. These guys have hand access, so can't rely on 2 range, but luckily bows are 3 range, which is all you need. And finally Roy is getting a rare kill. You can use... Didn't get an opportunity to put him in combat in the last chapter, so we'll try pushing him level 10 in the next chapter. It's very easy with giving experience. Again, it's not as easy as the vanilla version, but every little bit helps. So, good thing Debia's can use both side. Promoted generals and knights. And promoting Debia's does give me one more benefit of an extra move. It's not as high as a lot, but it's still 6 move, which is something. And you do have high 8 units like Mage Knights, Troubadours, Nomads, Nomad Troopers, Pegasus Knights, and Falcon Knights who can rescue drop enemy units around the map. So honestly, dealing damage shouldn't be that hard. So we're just gonna rush. Marcus and Zilot are pretty much just charging, honestly. We're gonna give Zilot and Sword just so they can avoid getting hit by a fighter on there. They're fairly accurate, but having a low chance is better than having a higher chance. Yeah, Javelin. Sadly, you can see the accuracy isn't that great, even if it's a lot higher than it should be in a vanilla version. And luckily, those fighters do not move since they're guarding the gate, otherwise, really not easily died on that. Overall, this chapter should go a lot faster in your vanilla FP8. Maybe same turns as Dawn's run. 13, 15, around 13 to 14 turns. But it's definitely going to play a lot different in your typical FE6 LTC. As you can see, I'm relying a lot more on my generals than my paladins or great knights. Still fairly rely on Zealot a lot more, but honestly, it's not like carrying the whole thing. You get my point. And that guy went for Marcus. We can just heal him up. That's not a big deal. So this knight is amazing. Killer Lance, and this guy's hammer. So these guys are fairly hard to keep alive. But I guess if you rush the game, rush the map like I'm doing, you'll probably find a lot easier to do. And when they good guys, that's something Project Ember did. Engrowths, and if you're playing a bit slower, I'd say she's one of the better armor units. But depending how fast you play, you might want to rely on other units. And the sense is 0% growths, and Wendy is exactly going to be a best unit. She's not a best unit by any means, but the first time I played Project Ember, I was really impressed by how Wendy performed. Had to give her a robe to increase her bulk slightly, but other than that, she has the capped speed, decent rest, decent defense, high strength. Overall, very good stats. Mine's a move, which, as I said, you can rectify it with moving around. And even in a growth version, I'm definitely relying on generals, as you can see. I don't know how much I'll rely on them later on, but I'm pretty sure not that many bulky units besides Draco Knights, Wyvern Knights, and Wyvern Riders, so that's something to worry about later on. Honestly, you can say all the Wyvern Knights are going to get in this game are going to let good bases overall. Caps aren't that high, but considering 0% growths, I don't even likely reach them without significantly using stat boosters, or unless a late game unit. So yeah, just gonna risk all the steals and move around. basically need to drop one to open a door around the bottom and the other towards the throne to get all the chests on there. The other one is just gonna get chests around this side. Okay, this guy luckily is below half health, so Ogi can pretty much take him down next turn if he has to. This guy's at below 30% health, so prefers healing himself. And well, okay, this guy finally misses sadly, but it's nothing to worry about honestly. All these knights are doors and chest keys you might want to steal, I guess. Chest keys are fairly expensive, around 16,000, not 16,000, 1,600 gold. So it is definitely nice to steal them if you can do it. You essentially save 1,600 and you get an option to, open chests without using a chest key or buying another one. For a long time at the very least. And there you go, that guy's pretty much ready to loot everything. Here's a knight. I definitely want to steal his chest key if I can, but on hindsight I should give him a weaker axe maybe, as you'll see soon enough. Yeah, there's another thief. Gonna drop him around here. So the ABS is gonna move around. I think he's pretty much done what he needs to do for the most part. Lilina can't reach Roy in this turn, but I guess Roy can definitely reach her, but it's not like you need a party rush at this point, especially since there's a knight around there, the Silver Lands. But we get an extra Thunder Tome, that's gonna be sweet. So Lilina ironically in Project Ember is probably one of the best staff bots you can get. Besides, of course, Nemi and ironically again Sophia, that's considering basis. And Cecilia of course is overall the best magic unit for availability, weapon ranks, weapon types. And Haimo gonna make it fairly good. And luckily we do one shot this guy, so that's all we need. We're gonna chip all the mages from the side throne basically. Bar doesn't have Ball to take 2 mage hits, so he'll be fine, just need to heal him up. Luckily we do have elixirs and all good stuff, so it's not like we're particularly short in healing. As you can see, I definitely prefer an Iron Axe around here, just so that I can see the chest key. And Grey Knight comes towards Bart. And luckily this killer bow guy kills him off. If they kill this, they won't kill Debias for sure, but as long as they don't suicide, it's fine with me. So Steel bow, that's all I need. They can't come at one range, and an iron bow might have been more accurate, but that'll take one shotting capability at the moment. Come to think of it, Bard is probably highest strength besides Bard trade while using bows, so maybe Douglas has roughly similar stat, but that means I have a fairly good bow unit for a decent amount of time from chapter 8, that is. And I'm finally promoting Noah just because there's no point in delaying his promotion to 0% score run. So there you go, get a paladin. I don't think he'll be relying on combat as much as utility, but he does have 15 speed, 12 strength, and overall decent bulk, so he'll be put to decent use. So there you go, Zealot's healed up. It's a good idea to choke all these points just in case of reinforcements. And so is kind of reaching level 10. It'd be nice if it reaches 10 just in case I need to go Sake or something. Not particularly mad, but there are a couple of rescue strats you can pull in 100% growths that makes Sake a lot faster to beat. You can go check Juwan776's channel for that information. And speaking of FE8, FE6 Project Ember LTCs. So there's this one guy in Amino who's I don't remember his name right now, but I'll probably put it in the description or comment section. What he basically pulls off is the rescue strat. I think it goes with Seal Go something. I'll just put his name in the comment section. So, a description honestly. So basically what it does is he manipulates the position of how rescue works in this game. And he pushes Roy to the other side of the wall on the bottom side, so basically moves Roy towards Debias and essentially becomes Roy solo from that point. We don't miss a lot of treasure chests, and it's definitely not as reliable as it can be in a 0% growth run, but I guess you can use Debias and rescue Roy instead, so that's really up to you whether you want to pull it off. Another idea, by the way, is by John's considering those ideas, so I don't know if he's going to do a 0% growth run again or some. I mean, not again. He did 100% growth run LTC. But knowing Juan, I think I won't be surprised if he pull it off faster than I do. Especially all rigging and all. So we're gonna trade around that hammer just to deal a great night around there. It's a lot more reliable than using a killer axe or anything else at the moment. So that night the Hostler luckily doesn't move, and it's just a detriment for you to prevent your monitors staying adjacent to the Debias in a certain position. And there's Douglas, so the Bart is there. We're gonna heal him up. Definitely gonna use him a bit more than we intended to originally, at the very least. We'll see why in a few turns when I face Debias, but it's basically just for the sake of reliability. Not that Zealot can't face him, but Bart is, trust me, a lot reliable and 0% growth condition at the very least. Yeah. So go ahead and rescue Roy, just so that you can move him up to the throne. And we're going to drop him around there. So Lena's going to be rescued too, just so we can try to give her a couple of kills if possible. And we're almost finishing this map, and yeah, there you go, Thief. We're just gonna rescue him, and Saul's around there. Yeah, Lagat is probably as bulky as Bard, honestly. Oh, we don't double him with hammer. Well, that's a kill for someone else then. Yeah, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but I do appreciate free chip damage, so luckily it doesn't come at a brave bow, and it used to come in the previous versions that I played, so it's just a turret at one range, but gotta believe me, it's pretty much prepared to face all your units there. Killer Lancers are critical hit, and that should negate most of your units from attacking him, at least initially. He has Albert to deal with your Great Knight, Paladin, and Cavalier, and he has a Silver's Blade to hit pretty hard on axe units using hammers, so It's gonna block a place of Debias, and this guy's just gonna open a chest around there and get the hell out of there once he's done. Yeah, Wendy's definitely not going to do much beyond what she did in this chapter. Not that she's a bad unit by any means in this hack, but I just think most of my other generals have better stats, better weapon ranks to claim. So there's a knight we want to be careful of. We have a hammer, so and knights are slow, so dealing with them shouldn't be hard, but nonetheless one's allowed to be at full health before you face him. There's a javelin too, just in case you want. You're clever enough placing mages around there. One range since he doesn't move. So he's got Debias very covered if you ask me. Except for a few tiles on the left and on the right. On the right there's soldiers which reinforcements will appear soon enough. These are moving right back as cat is gonna appear. Kinda noticed that kinda surprised I played that fast, to be honest. So there you go, Rodger, Clarine. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's a good job, man. Pulls a crit, so it's kinda nice. And there's cat. Need to talk to her 3 times to recruit her, but this is the second time we're talking to her, so depending upon where you have high stats or preferred weapon, you might want to have an easy game. Later game, I mean, just because you don't care to get in your way and steal treasure. You might as well want to recruit her early or later, depending on it. The later recruited, the more higher the stats will be, and she'll also have a personal weapon if you recruit her in chapter 22, I think. So I might not be sure about this one. It's essentially gonna make cat a probably have highest rest if you equip the weapon. Nova's just gonna rush towards the throne, get all the stuff we need. The treasure chest around there. So Rodger's what's typically expected to deal with Debias, but because of the killer lance and I didn't foresee it when I was recording it, I need to bring in someone else to reliably kill him. So that someone else is going to be obviously a general. So here it won't be hard to deal with him if you ask me, but doubles, and I definitely don't want to face crits if I have to. So seriously, Wendy, you had one job. So yeah, Bard's gonna go towards the throne. Originally, I was planning to just go block that staircase, but we don't have to worry about yeah, there you go, see. We're almost there, and Kiloboga is just gonna chip him, and chip him when he falls off. Not gonna die, but if he pulls it enough for the point where he can really escape, or kill him with someone else, that's gonna be nice. As you can see, even Zelo doesn't survive if this guy crits, so I definitely gonna need a general to deal with him. So we're almost there, just need to chip around, get out a chest, and get a killer bow, so it's kinda nice. All this stuff is really good. You can put them to good use, and they're going to be fairly useful. So there's Bard, we're going to rescue him. We have 2 years, you can rescue drop him, so that's fine with me, honestly. So there you go, Bard's around the throne. He's going to deal with the guy. And Noah's going to get a chest along with the other thief who are left around there, which is Astolfo likely, so There you go. We chipped them, so. Or added armor and it chipped them, so. We gotta steal an EXP. Shrek is technically ready for promotion if you really want to do it. Honestly, there's gonna be a verse a lot, so. You might not want to promote him. Like, Noah's a better Marcus for shot, and. Not great knights are bad, but. They do have a lot of weaknesses that prevent them from, using them effectively. As you can see, even Rutger is not doing fairly well. It's a gamble of crits, and it's a good idea don't take gambles as much as you can. So there you go. Cats are gonna attack us, which is sweet. Yeah, but definitely don't want to face that. But I don't care to die anyways. Probably have to reset, so Sally can't rescue Armor Knight there, which means it's bad news. Luke is pretty much ready to rescue Armor Knight just in case we need to. And I don't think Trek is enough way to rescue Armor Knight there, so we might as well move a bit forward and deal rest of the enemies. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, Bart is fairly bulky. You can easily take 2 or 3 crits if you ask me. So I'm gonna start with him. This guy isn't an armor slayer for some reason, so you pretty much expect you to use this guy, I guess. Oh well, you're gonna fall right here, Legance. There you go. Bart is getting level up. This guy easily cap his HP, defense, and strength, but his other stats, let's say, are not particularly great. Cat is an attack, but I don't want a Greener to kill her off, and I don't see any other way to do it. But hopefully, Cat retreats and uses a wall. Then you can rescue the Armor Knight next turn so that we don't have to deal with that mess. We're gonna block him from attacking Cat, hopefully. That's another alternative we can do. Secret book, that's kinda nice. Then the crit formula's skill minus 10, so the more skill you have, the more crit you essentially have, which is especially going to Sword Master like Rutger, for instance. We're gonna drop him around there. Should have blocked that place, but alas, didn't have a big brain that time. So here we go. There is reinforcements. We very much don't have to deal with them. Oh, whatever. I just hope he doesn't, kill himself. And that's something interesting I didn't notice while recording, but once the fact that the enemies are reinforcement appearing after kill the boss means I can't assume that killing a boss will end the reinforcements on the map, so good guiding and Annalise and Rep, so we technically got everything we need. Just need to move right towards its throne and just get ourselves some couple of weapon XP and all this stuff. So there you go. This is why I like Lug, I guess. I didn't intend to be this good, but utility is pretty much unmatched. Chip damage, rescue, and healing. I can definitely expect her to be pretty consistent throughout the game, even if it's not going to particularly kill in the late game. So I don't have any other good units to keep in my deployment slot. I'm definitely going to give a slot to Lug, that's for sure. So yeah, there you go. Cat is going to run off. Bard is just gonna get some axe rank, which can help me with armors, which means 28 defense, probably one of the higher defense stats. So there you go. It's nice dealing with them, honestly. Speaking of, that's 13 turns. And honestly, that should be it for this map. Besides getting some weapon XP, so. Already some juicy business stuff. Yeah, as you can see, Bard isn't exactly at his rank. It's very close, he'll reach there easily, but he's not at his rank, so that kind of sucks in a way, but so I'm gonna chip him off and move around. Yeah, that should be it for this map, so consider leaving a like, share this video and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys in the next video, and until then, goodbye.